Welcome back to Character Conversions, where I try to bring fictional characters to life in D&D. Today's a request from Azure Knight Terror 11 for the Soulcalibur Azure Knight himself, Nightmare. As he points out in his request, a fighting game character can be tricky due to the lack of source material, but luckily for me I think he gave me the easy one regardless. Our only build requirements are a great sword, heavy armor, and magic, so let's get started. For stats we'll be using the standard array of the player's handbook. Strength will be 13, we are strong but it won't be our attack stat. Dexterity is 8, we will be relying on heavy armor for our AC. Constitution will be 14, we want to make sure we can withstand to be trading blows in melee. Intelligence will be 10, it's unimportant to us. Wisdom will be 12, we have been known to possess weaker-willed men for our vessel, we are obviously somewhat strong-willed. And finally, Charisma will be 15. This will be our main stat and what most of our things are tied to. Moving on to race, Nightmare is the physical manifestation of the evil sword Soul Edge. There's not a sword race yet, sadly, as Mark Sherlock Holmes has not released a stat block for the Eterna, but we can accomplish this in a roundabout way. Our race will be Warforged. To represent when Nightmare is more or less just an animated suit of discarded armor. Maybe work with your GM and have the Warforged basically be armor and have a commoner inside or something. As a Warforged, our Constitution is increased by +2 and our Charisma by +1, raising them both to 16. We gain Constructed Resilience, giving us advantage against being poisoned and resistance to poison damage. We don't need to eat, drink, or breathe, we're immune to disease, we don't need to sleep, and we can't magically be put to sleep. Sentry's Rest makes it so we gain a long rest in 6 hours. Integrated Protection gives us +1 to our AC, we have to don armor in an hour-long process, but it can't be removed against our will after this. Specialized Design gives us proficiency with a skill and tool. Choose whatever tool you like, but for the skill we will grab Deception. Finally, our languages we speak are common and one other language of our choice. Choose whatever fits your campaign. For background, I wasn't sure what to go with. I ended up settling on Haunted One from Curse of Strahd. Perhaps we're haunted by our need to reforge Soul Edge. This will give us proficiency with Arcana and Religion. We learn an additional 2 languages of our choice. Again, choose whatever fits with your campaign. Our feature is Heart of Darkness, making it so people who look into our eyes know we have faced great horrors, and commoners will even extend us every courtesy. This could be representative of when we decided to rule the world rather than destroy it. For class, this will be another multi-class build, starting in Paladin because we want heavy armor proficiency. We have a D10 hit die, proficiency with all armor and shields, proficiency with simple and martial weapons, wisdom and charisma saves, and for skills we'll choose athletics and intimidation. First level Paladins gain Divine Sense. As an action, a number of times equal to 1 plus our charisma modifier, we detect the presence of celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet. So long as they aren't behind total cover. Lay on Hands allows us to replenish a number of hit points equal to 5 times our Paladin level each long rest. Think of this as being so difficult to put down because we don't have a real body. Second level Paladins gain a fighting style, of which we'll be choosing Great Weapon Fighting, allowing us to re-roll 1s and 2s on damage with our Greatsword. We gain our spellcasting and gain 2 first level spell slots. We'll be using these for smiting most often, but spells like Shield, Faith, and Wrathful Smite, and other various smite spells will be useful for increasing our AC in a pinch or increasing our damage output a little further. Finally, we gain Divine Smite. This allows us to expend a spell slot when we hit with an attack to deal an additional 2d8 radiant damage. The damage is increased to 1d8 for each spell level higher than first to a maximum of 5d8. If the target is undead or fiend, the damage is increased to an additional 1d8 to a maximum of 6d8. At 3rd level, we'll be switching over to Warlock. This gives us a d8 hit die. For our otherworldly patron, we'll be choosing Hexblade, granting us Hexblade's Curse and Hex Warrior. Hexblade Curse allows us to choose a creature within 30 feet as a bonus action, cursing them for 1 minute. We deal an additional damage to the target equal to our proficiency bonus. We critically hit on a 19 or 20, and if the target dies, we heal our Warlock level plus our Charisma modifier and hit points. Hex Warrior makes it so we can use our Charisma modifier for attack and damage rolls. The weapon can't have the two-handed property though. For us, I recommend maybe using a long sword for now, until we gain the Pact of the Blade, which will let us use it for every pact weapon we can conjure with that feature no matter what. Pact Magic grants us 2 cantrips and 2 first level spells. For the cantrips, we'll be choosing Booming Blade and Sword Burst. Our first level spells will be Hex and Shield. We want to be able to diversify our options in melee and raise our AC to unholy hell when we are finally in plate mail. Second level Warlocks gain Eldritch Invocations. For this build, I want to go with Devil's Sight and Eldritch Sight. This gives us dark vision and even magical darkness out to 120 feet, and the ability to cast Detect Magic at will. I want to play up how because we are basically our sword that we see differently than everyone else. For our first level spell this level, we will pick up Hellish Rebuke to really punish anyone who manages to hit our AC. As a 3rd level Warlock, we gain our Pact boon, and we are going to of course be choosing Pact of the Blade. With this we can create a greatsword and now use our Charisma modifier for attack and damage. We can dismiss and summon the weapon as well now, so we effectively can't be separated from our blade or our armor. Finally, we gain our first 2nd level spell as well. I recommend Darkness. I don't think Nightmare had any such ability, but with our Devil's Sight I think it would be foolish not to grab it. As a 4th level Warlock, we gain our first ability score improvement. We will be putting this into our Charisma, raising it to an 18. We gain additional cantrip, we'll grab Green Flame Blade. And for our 2nd level spell this level, we will grab Misty Step, just to boost our maneuverability if we need it. At 7th level, we will return to Paladin, and 3rd level Paladins get to choose their oath. We'll be choosing Oath of Conquest from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. We gain Channel Divinity, and our 2 abilities are Conquering Presence and Guided Strike. Conquering Presence lets us, as an action, force each creature of our choice within 30 feet to make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, they're frightened of us for 1 minute, and can repeat the save at the end of each of their turns. Guided Strike allows us to add +10 to an attack roll, even after a roll but before the GM says we hit or miss. I imagine this is what we'll mostly use comboed with our smites. 8th level, as a 4th level Paladin, we gain an ability score improvement. We'll drop this into our Charisma, raising it to a 20. 9th level and our 5th level in Paladin means we gain extra attack, so now when we take the attack action we make 2 attacks instead of 1. We also gain access to 2nd level spells, which for our build just means bigger smites. 6th level Paladins gain Aura of Protection. Now whenever we or a friendly creature within 10 feet of us make a saving throw, we gain a bonus equal to our Charisma modifier, so long as we are conscious. Best part about this is that now even our worst save has a +4 bonus. As a 7th level Paladin, we gain Aura of Conquest. Now if a creature is frightened of us and within 10 feet, their speed is reduced to 0 and they take psychic damage equal to half our Paladin level if they start their turn there. It would be pretty amazing if we literally managed to terrify an enemy to death. At 12th level, Paladin will be giving us another ability score improvement. We'll be trading this for a feat and taking Great Weapon Master. This makes it so when we score a critical hit or reduce a creature to 0 hit points, we can make another melee attack as a bonus action. In addition, we can choose to take a -5 penalty to our attacks and add +10 to the damage, or if we're using our Channel Divinity, +5 to attack for +10 to damage. 13th level is a quick one. As a 9th level Paladin, we gain access to our 3rd level spells for those 48 Power Smites. At 14th level, as a 10th level Paladin, we gain Aura of Courage. Now an ally within 10 feet of us can't be frightened so long as we are conscious. I like to think of it as them being more afraid of us than the enemy. As an 11th level Paladin, we gain Improved Divine Smite. Now all our attacks do an additional 1d8 radiant damage. 16th level and our 12th level in Paladin is an additional ability score improvement. The great thing about the Hexblade Paladin build is that really Charisma is all we need, so let's trade this for another feat and take Slasher. This increases our strength by 1 to a 14, and now once per turn when we hit a creature with slashing damage, we can reduce their speed by 10 feet until the start of our next turn. Really want to make sure people can't run away from us. What a nightmare. In addition, when we score a critical hit that deals slashing damage, we grievously wound the target. Until the start of their next turn, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls. 17th level is another quick one. As a 13th level Paladin, we gain access to our 4th level spells for our max power 5d8 smites. In addition, spells like Holy Weapon or Banishing Smite can also be quite useful. As a 14th level Paladin, we gain Cleansing Touch. Now we can use our action to end one spell on ourselves or one willing creature that we touch. We can do this a number of times per day equal to our Charisma modifier. At 19th level and our 15th level in Paladin, Oath of Conquest gives us Scornful Rebuke. Now whenever a creature hits us with an attack, that creature takes psychic damage equal to our Charisma modifier if we are not incapacitated. So not only do they have to get over our high armor class, they have to suffer 5 psychic damage for each hit. 20th level, our capstone for this ability is another ability score improvement. If we drop it into our constitution, we gain an additional 20 hit points, but let's instead trade it for the tough feat and gain an additional 40 hit points. End result sees us with an average of 210 hit points. With Lay on Hands, we can heal ourselves up to 80 hit points, meaning we have almost 300. Assuming we manage to get plate armor, we will have an AC of 19, 24 if we cast Shield. Our damage with a Greatsword will be 12 a hit for a total of 24 points. With Great Weapon Master, we can increase this to 44 points of damage total. In addition, we can pump in an average of 9 to 22 points of damage with our Divine Smites. When you wield a Greatsword as large as Nightmares, you obviously can lay down some hurt. The part I like most about this build is the ability to summon and dismiss our sword, and the fact that our armor can't be removed against our will. I feel like you can really roleplay that you are in fact a sentient sword, and that the body is just a vessel that you're using. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment your opinions or suggestions for new builds. I hope all your 20s are natural, and see you next time.